Okay, so before I get into my comic choice of today, I will say there is a trigger warning. I'm going to put a trigger warning. I'm telling you now that there is a trigger warning for this comic for sexual and physical trauma, mental health, as well as toxic relationships. So if that bothers you and makes you ick, please click off of this now. I know it is homework, but I do not want to trigger anything for anybody. So I'm inserting this now. It is a trigger warning, and it will be mentioned multiple times throughout this video. So please, if it bothers you, please do not watch this. All right. So I will, like, if I mention, hopefully if I remember, when I mention one of the triggers, I will try to be like, hey, trigger warning here. Like, this is going to get a bit, but let's get started. Today, the book that I'm talking about is a favorite. I love it. And that is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smith. I'm sorry, my bookmarks are in the way. And this is volume 1. So volume 1 covers chapters 1 through 25. And this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. Just have to say, but can we just look at the cover? How beautiful that is. The cloud. I love it. And it also extends. They extend onto the back. But that's not the point. So this book follows, if you do not know, it follows Hades and Persephone. So Persephone, the goddess of spring, and then Hades, the god of the underworld. If you watch Hercules, you know who he is. And she is just adorable. We love her. And if you do not follow Greek mythology, this might be a bit confusing with names, but I'll try my best. And also, I'm not Greek, so I cannot pronounce half of these names. But, so let's get started. I have the questions here on my iPad, so I'm going to read off of that. So like I said, the title is Lore Olympus. The creative team, there's a lot of them. There's, it honestly, with the artwork and the coloring and even the storyline, it switches back and forth between a lot of people, but the main author of this story is Rachel Smith. And if you want, this book is also available on Webtoon, which is an app. I suggest looking into it because then, yes. The publisher is Random House Publishing Group. There are 384 pages in this book. The Barnes & Noble's exclusive edition includes a bonus chapter. That's not it. But there's a bonus chapter in here from one of the goddesses' point of views. And this is a graphic novel. Not just a comic, not a manga, nothing like that. It is a graphic novel. Okay? I just want to put that out there. As in the acts occur. Okay, so it doesn't technically fit our model about acts because it doesn't necessarily have acts. It more so does the chapter kind of thing, but it calls its chapters episodes. So I'm going to show you what the beginning of an episode looks like. So every episode starts like this. It's going to be this black and white picture of Persephone and Hades. It's going to be the episode number and then the episode title. So it makes it easier. Oh, okay, episode like 7. Very cool. So you know which episode you left off on, and then you also know the title. Whose story is it? And then each episode is about 13 pages. Starts at like 13 pages, 7 to 13 pages long. Whose story is it? What's the goal? And does the conflict support this goal? Okay, so it's a lot of conflict in here. It's a lot of conflict, but it's easy to follow. But it follows the characters, like I said, Hades and Persephone. It follows a river nymph that he is currently dating named Mint. It follows Zeus. It follows Apollo. It follows Poseidon and like their wives and everything. It follows a lot of Greek mythology characters, but it's kind of hard to explain what the goal is without giving away the book, which is kind of the point of this. But Hades, kind of love at first sight with Persephone. I mean, how can you not? Look at her, she's adorable. But it's a love at first sight kind of thing. He wants her, but her mother is Demeter. I think, believe that's how you pronounce it. Like I said, I can't pronounce these Greek names, but yes, and it's just a lot of bumps and bruises and trials and tribulations between the two of them. So it's a lot. The story arc. Okay, so the story arc does have a clear beginning. It's kind of hard to say the middle because this story is nowhere near over. Like I said, this is only covering chapters 1 through 25. This is volume 1. So it does cover a lot. It covers a good amount of the beginning of the story arc, but there are so many different story arcs that all kind of mesh together. So it's like one will start, and then in the middle of one, another one will start, and then that first one will end, and then it'll be that constant. But it meshes so well that you're not like confused about it. That's what I do enjoy about it. And I feel like everybody else that would read it would enjoy this too, because it's like, it's not, okay, here's the end of this story arc, and then boom. Like an anime. Anime does that a lot. Like, all right, here's the end of this story arc. Let's start another. Like, no, these mesh and blend really well together. Do any of the characters have a solid story arc? Is there a change in them? Yes. Yes. Okay. So, Persephone's story arc is like she's this new. Everybody thinks she's a flower nymph, but she's not. She's a god. She's a lesser known goddess. So she's the goddess of spring, like I said, and she was born in a mortal realm. She lived in a mortal realm with her mother Demeter and a few other actual flower nymphs and everything. And she did something horrible, which, if you know the story of Hades and Persephone, you know what she did. I don't want to ruin it by telling you what she did, but I feel like I have to because this is a school assignment. So, we'll roll back to that. But it also, you can see her growth and how she finally learned to defend for herself and stand up for herself. And hats off to her, she's a queen. And then it also follows Hades, who, of course, as a god of the underworld, gets a bad rep. Because why not? It follows him and how he, his bad reputation kind of like trails after him a little bit. But how he meets Persephone and now he's like on this road to being a good guy. And, well, he is a good guy, but he's like on this road to, I want a wife, I want this wife. That one right there. That one. But there's a lot more story arcs. There's a story arc with Apollo, which that is one of the trigger warnings. Apollo is, excuse my French, an asshole. Let's just say that now. Apollo and Zeus are total assholes. Sorry. Does the story establish and have effective transition? Yes, thank God they do, because I have read comics where the transition is so harsh that it's like my head just did a 360. But these ones transition so well and it just meshes, and then it's like it doesn't leave you confused. So it's like when one thing happens, you can just go right, and you get a little bit confused about it, you can just go right back and you're like, oh, okay. So discuss McCloud's transition. So it really does relate, because there are times where, let me see if I can find an example. And now you get to see like the beautiful cover art. There are a lot of examples because it's kind of hard to choose just one. Yeah, it's kind of hard to choose just one example, but yeah, it's difficult. But there are times where somebody will say something and then out of nowhere it'll cut to like maybe a gasp or a like an overhead shot of like maybe the city skyline in the underworld, and it'll be like crash, boom, and you're like, what the hell just happened? But it does it so effectively that it's like it'll jump right back, and you're like, oh, well, wait. Sometimes you're like, wait, what the hell just happened? And then eventually it'll be like, oh, well, this happened there, and you're like, that's a whiplash, but I like that. So I like how it does it. Does the story make use of the page as a mini comic? I would say it does. Like, okay, look at this. I believe it does. To me, yes. Yeah, I think so, if I'm being honest. Does the story have enough? Yes, the directional flow is great for the story. It does pull the reader. It's very simple to follow. And go push down and over and just down. Oh, this is like, look at this artwork. I just want to say, with the use of all like it's beautiful. I love it. Would you recommend this to your classmates? Yes, I would. That is why I talked about it. The way it handles, like I said, the triggers and everything, it's amazing. But also just look at this cover work, and I enjoy the colors of the characters. So Hades is blue, Persephone is pink, but look at how the white space just like, I like it. I like the different colors of it. I love how every character has their own color. So let's see. This is, I believe, Aries. So Aries is light purple, so he's like a lavender. This is Poseidon and Zeus. Zeus is purple, Poseidon is green. And then it's just the colors and everything. This is Hera, this is Zeus's wife, and then you can tell this is Zeus because look at the use of the lightning coming out of him. Like, hello. Can we talk about it? It's beautiful. Like, this is Armidas. But that's Apollo's sister. And everybody has their colors. But I also love this because it's like with the color, they're watching TV, so you can see the TV glow as like they walk out, and it's just like there's so much attention to details in this book. It's amazing. Would you recommend this to your friends? I would, but I feel like my friends aren't gonna read it because my friends don't really know about Greek mythology other than Hercules, and I'm like, hello, there's more movies than that. But they might read it because, like, again, look at the art, and it's modernized. So, like, they have smartphones, they have computers and everything. Like, look at the underworld. This is the underworld. They have cars, a phone, like I said, computers. They're at a club. It's great. They drink. So you gotta love it. You gotta love to see it. And then a fun fact, you can read this for free on Webtoon. Like I said, so Webtoon is a free app that you can read this book, and it's up to, I think, 174 chapters right now, and it comes out every Sunday. But I don't really have any other fun facts about it. But I feel like everybody would love this, and I feel like you guys should all read it, especially if you want like another look into like all the different Greek mythologies, because it actually goes over a lot of people's backstory. So it goes over Ares' backstory, it goes over Apollo's backstory, It goes over Hades and Kronos, which is Hades' father. It goes over Rhea's backstory. It goes over Hades' childhood, which, oh my god, my poor baby. I will say, my poor Hades. But yes, I would recommend this to everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, there are 2 editions, like hardcover edition. I just had to get a Barnes & Noble's edition. But I hope you guys do check this book out. And yeah.